Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate you so much because of your great support. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You like this video and you give your opinion at the comment section below. And by the way, don't forget to share this video. I was listening deeply in a certain interview at Spice FM. I realized something that is very crucial that I wanted you to listen to. What is this hidden agenda in between William Ruto, or rather William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza government, and the United States of America when it comes to the Haiti, where William Ruto came out promising to give his police officers to go and put peace and order in Haiti? As details are emerging, there are certain secrets that are in between the Kenya Kwanza government that is being led by William Ruto and the United States of America. Then maybe, is it a pay time that because United States of America came out assisting him to get this presidency, now William Ruto must come out to pay. And by paying, he must come out to give his police officers to Haiti. Because, ladies and gentlemen, simple question we are asking ourselves. What is this criteria that UN Congress came out agreeing, or rather choosing a certain country to come out to give the police officers? Was it a push of the United States of America that William Ruto must come out to give his police officers as like paying the support he got during the electioneering period? Because Americans or US hands are in this 2022 general election. So I want you to watch the video of Okuro Court. Okuro Court is coming out to ask the simple question that we are asking. Why Kenyan police officers? And this is how Okuro Court is answering.
Why Kenya? There are so many Caribbean countries around Haiti. Why can the US? And you see, the problem I have is that, especially when the US keeps on praising Kenya, congratulating Kenya for doing this, it's just typical of the US. They go into a country, they cause the mess, and they want somebody else to clean it up. They did that in Somalia in remember the Black Hawk situation?
Yes.
They've done it in Iraq, they've done it in Afghanistan, they've done it in Libya. So now, of all countries on earth, Kenya is going to clean up that mess. And of course, France, the same thing. And this is part of the reason why, for me, I'm liking what's happening in Francophone Africa. The Gabon, Burkina Faso. I like the messaging that it's time to bring an end to this neo-colonialism and neoliberalism. And I think the messaging also is very... So if you look at Haiti, for example, one of the things that interests the rest of the world in Haiti is a very rare mineral called... it's a very scientific name, I can't remember, but it's a very rare mineral that it's all over, on the hills, in the mountains, and partly that's the reason why France and the USA actually invaded Haiti. So I think this is a big mistake for us as a country. In fact, even when you listen to Dr. Alfred Mutua, our CS for Foreign Affairs, try to explain why we must go into Haiti.
What did the Honorable Minister have to say?
Well, he talked about God's will, that us going to Haiti is
God's will.
God's will, yeah.
God's will.
Yes. That's what he said.
Which God?
I don't know, whatever God he worships. But he's talked about God. It's God's will. We are going to do God's will in Haiti, and that these are our brothers and sisters. But then the question is, why isn't the UN General Assembly mobilizing more countries? Why Kenya? Plus, we have serious small problems here we're not able to fix. Our policemen are used to chasing after guys carrying stones and, hurling canisters, tear gas canisters at them. Really, they can't face those guys. They'll come back in body bags. Not that I pray anybody dies. I don't want to.
Yeah. Is it necessary to ask the question? There was a UN special troop mission that was set up between it was 1993 up until 2017. 2017, that more or less was disbanded because obviously they were not able to curb the violence, neither were they able to institute any kind of permanent peaceful situation. And so we can get an idea of how long these gangs have been in place.
Yeah.
So the question is, if a UN special mission, because essentially it was likened to a UN special mission, maybe it did not reach the levels of a special mission, but it was an interim troop operation that was there for those 24 years of this regularity, of this kind of presence, and nothing then was realized. If anything, we've seen a worsening of it over time. What would be the reasoning behind then saying, okay, well, we need to up the ante and say, let's increase the presence of foreign troops? Because if anything, for me, I see it as a position where these gangs would say, you know what? You bring it, we will bring it also to a greater level.
You know, to be honest, no, I mean, just like you are asking, many people are asking the same question. Really, what is it that we really want to fix in this Haiti? And every time, of course, I mean, history has shown us that every time a foreign country invades another country, it leaves it in a worse situation. And we can see this right from even the Kuwait wars, Iraq, you know.
Start with Vietnam.
All that. I mean, you go back to memory lane. Every time another country invades another country, it leaves it in a very bad situation. And this is what I think, if there was a situation in which we can encourage perhaps a democratic rule in Haiti, I don't think it's by sending troops.
What would form such a thing? We did see before that a lot of hand-holding by the US of the president, you know, across Silicon Valley to different corporates. It looked like some kind of quid pro quo, which was said, okay, well, you've done this for me and shown me how. Let me say, well, this is a situation that you have or that you're interested in. Let me also say that we can do this. What would fuel that?
You know, there are a lot of theories. One of them goes back to our election time of last year. Of course, you know, secrecy was never invented in this world. I mean, certainly not in Kenya. I mean, there are rumors that the US aided the election of President William Ruto. And it's probably payback time. Because one of the questions that people are asking out there, what criteria was being used by the US to pick on Kenya to lead this mission? It's not coming out clearly. And even for the president himself, he hasn't really come out to clarify or to explain to Kenyans, as accountability will require of him, to tell Kenyans why I'm sending 1,000 police officers to Haiti. He hasn't explained. So all this thing is shrouded in some sort of, secrecy. Over and above that, we now know there is a 14 billion Kenya shilling being, dangled on all these missions. So it's more about, I think, it looks more like about more money than actually the situation in Haiti. Because I don't think our police officers honestly are prepared for that kind of situation. Like you ask, everybody is asking, there is no explanation why Kenya. There are so many countries that are too close to Haiti. They could easily fix this. They could even mobilize the Caribbean. Why can't they fix it? Why are East African country?
Okuro court is coming out to tell us about whatever we should expect. Because really, when you look at even the questions that we are asking, we are in darkness. We don't know why William Ruto is coming out to accept, be it police officers or KDF. Why should they come out to mobilize those countries that are closer to Haiti to come out to resolve these issues? Why Kenya? All the way from another whole continent to this African continent. And why is it that only Kenya? You know? And again, when you look at even some issues that are coming to arise, is that when you look at the issue of money that is being contributed to this, so the way you've heard from Okuro Court is almost 14 or 45 billion Kenyan shillings that is being contributed to support the mission. But now, there are two things that we are asking ourselves. One, is it that William Ruto paying the support that he had from US? Because you've seen United States of America, they have been always eloquent when it comes to the win of William Ruto. Because they're always coming out to legitimize the win of William Ruto's government. Number two, you want to tell me, is it that William Ruto is going for this because of the money? that they are going to be given billions of money. Is it so? And that is why maybe William Ruto is deciding to give the police or KDF, because they is not giving us a real answer that we want. And there's something that is creating or raising eyebrows. And by the way, when you look at the way Okuro Court is coming out to say that the United States of America, they are very funny. They always dilute a country. Then they find someone who should come out to keep peace and order. The way he has given out the issue of Somalia, it was US that came out diluting what you're seeing today in Somalia. Now other countries are busy fighting to ensure that peace and order is in Somalia. Look at whatever happened in Libya, Gaddafi. They always come out to dilute a certain country, then they depend on a certain country to keep peace and order. The same to Iraq, the same to Quid and other countries. So it is simple. In other words, the America and other countries could have come out to at least mobilize the countries that are near the Haiti, and they could have come out to resolve this issue. Because it will not be so fair for a country like Kenya. I'm not saying that we don't have strong military. We have strong military, by the way. They are so strong, and they are well trained, and they are knowledgeable on how to handle some issues. But really, when you look at even the issue during the Maandamano, you saw when the furious demonstrators came out even chasing these police officers. And remember, the gangs that are in Haiti, these are gangs that are armed, they are having firearms. It is now a face-off in between the police officers from Kenya and the gangs who are having firearms. And by the way, if they are going to bring it on, then also the Haiti gangs are going to bring it on. So it is our prayer that let our police officers come back safely, because we are so worried. Why should America just appoint Kenya? Was it fairly willingness from William Ruto, or he is being forced to pay certain debts? Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, I want to appreciate you so much because of great support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video.